Hi, it's Russ from Studio One Expert, and we're doing a series showing you some of the cool new things you can do with Studio One version 4. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Sample One XT to sample anything you like. Now, what I mean by anything you like, you can record from the timeline, you record from virtual instruments, you can even record from an input coming in. So if there's someone sat in your studio with a mic in front of them or a guitar plugged into an amp or whatever, or into anything you like, you can record it straight into Sample One. I had Dave in the other day. He's got a Fender 73 bass, and before he left I thought it would be nice to grab his bass guitar and then sample it later on in Sample One XT. So I got him to play from E up to the next E, so I've got a very basic version of his bass guitar. I could have gone deeper, but I just wanted to use this as an example to show you one of the cool things you can do. So what you'll find now in Sample One XT is this cool thing called the record panel. And it allows you to record from any source you like. And in this case, what I want to do is I want to use this drop down here and go all the way down to tracks and then choose bass. And I've chosen bass. It could have been, as I say, an input from a live input coming in. Then the next thing I want to do is name this. I'm going to call it Fender Bass 73. Next thing I'm going to do is go to resolution. I'm going to use 24-bit. I could use 16 or 32-bit float, but 24 will do for that for now. The next thing I want to do is tell Sample One where to start automatically mapping from. Now it's E1 on the keyboard, so when it records, the first sample will then be placed on E1 in the keyboard and then go progressively up until it's recorded all those samples. Now the really cool thing as well is we can auto slice as we record. It's called gate record. So whenever there's a silence in the recording, it will start a new sample. So we hit that button, and up here you can see on the timeline that I have Dave's Fender bass, and it's going all the way through there from E1 to E2. Now what you'll also notice as well is he's played it at different velocities. We'd call it velocities, just played it harder or quieter. So I'm going to show you how we fix that later on once it's in. So all we do is we set it in gate record. You can see it's flashing now, ready to go, and we press play. So there we are, we've done the gate recording. You'll see as well there was two other things. There was a gate threshold when it closes and when it opens, and you can set those depending on the level of the source to make sure that the gate record works as you would hope. So if your gate recording isn't working as you would hope, then just adjust these until you've got it right and tweaked it. So let's go back to wave now, and you can see that each wave has been recorded. Now, you may recall I told you that when we were recording that there was certain parts of this wave that were quieter than others. So the first thing we can do, if we select all of those and then we hit normalize, all of those waveforms will now be normalized. Let's go to the keyboard. So what we can also do then is check the mapping. There's the mapping. It's automatically mapped it across keys. And if I wanted to, I could carry on going up as well, the keyboard. And I could go to this one and we could zoom in a bit and take that up a bit higher. What you're really trying to do is optimize it by just doing one note. Now can you hear a click on some of those as well? So what we can do as well now is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a small envelope on the amp start, which is basically the start time of when the sample plays. Let's try that, just do that. So if that's in, you can then put effects on it as well. If you wanted to, we could go and you put a bit of chorus and modulation on. Not my cup of tea, but some people like that kind of thing if they're playing progressive rock. Then we can filter it as well. Do some really cool things with the filter, so that's really nice. So make it a bit warmer. We can use the punch control and the drive control too. And so you can see you can do a lot of work with that as well. So the filter can have an envelope, the pitch can have an envelope, and the amplitude can have an envelope as well. So it's very powerful in that way too. So as you can see, it doesn't take long to create lots of cool sample libraries that you can use. This could be backing vocals, it could be anything you like. You can send it over to Impact if you want as well. So if it was, say, chord stabs, you could then play it on all the different pads. It's all pretty straightforward. So that's creating a new instrument in Sample One XT. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.